There is a very special project sitting right behind me, and I can't wait for you to see it. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. If you are new, I am so happy that you are here, and if you are a subscriber already, a big welcome back to all of my Creative Club members. Today's video is full of some really fun DIYs along with a very special project that I made for one of my DIY friends that you guys probably know. So let's get crafting. For this project, I picked up one of these two-sided signs from Dollar Tree. I grabbed my painter's tape and I taped off the chalkboard section of the sign because I'm a little bit of a messy painter, and I painted one side of it with orange paint. I originally thought maybe I would do the other side with brown wax and kind of give it a stained look, but then in the end, I ended up painting the entire frame portion of this with that orange paint. Once I pulled off the painter's tape, of course, I managed to still get paint on the chalkboard, so that came off really easily. You can just use a baby wipe and paint will come right off of these chalkboard surfaces. And then I went to grab my button box. Now, this is going to be a 2-season-ish type sign. So on one side it's going to be Halloween, the other side it's going to be fall. And for the Halloween side, what I wanted to do was to draw on a little ghost holding some balloons. And I thought it would be cute because I have bazillions of buttons to use the buttons as the balloons. So when I say I took a while to try to figure out my balloon combination, I took a while, a really long while. And in the end, I ended up just picking orange buttons. Before I started adding my ghost and balloons, I wanted to distress the edges. So to do that, I just grabbed some brown wax and a fan brush and just went all the way around until I liked how it looked. Time to make the ghost. So I grabbed my paint pen and I did an outline of a ghost, and then I just filled it in with the paint pen. I also made one little ghost hand coming off the side so that there would be a place for the little ghost to hold the balloons. Once the ghost was all filled in and the hand was there, I took my 3 orange buttons and hot glued them directly to the sign. And for the strings, I decided to use a gold paint pen. I really liked how that looked, so I drew strings from my buttons down to the hand. And then I also took that gold paint pen and just kind of loosely outlined the ghost. I wasn't trying to make it all perfect, but I did want to kind of give the ghost a little extra pop on the sign. To tie that gold a little bit more into this picture, I just took that gold marker and I started drawing little polka dots. Some of them were like half circles coming off the edge, and I just kind of filled it in to where it looked good. I will definitely link everything from today's video down below for you, so make sure you just check the description box or the pinned comment and you should be able to find anything you may be looking for. To finish off this side of the sign, I grabbed that gold paint pen and added some stars. And then I also grabbed the black paint pen and drew on some eyes. You definitely could write a boo on this, but I think it turned out so cute. And here's what it looks like. Now it's time to work on the other side of the sign, the fall side. So what I have here is my big box of all my little wood cutouts. This is how I like to keep them organized. And I wanted to pull out anything that was fall related. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to do pumpkins or leaves or see what was in my fall stash, but I ultimately decided on using leaves. Then once again, I spent way too long trying to figure out different leaf combinations. I didn't know what I was going to do, and then I decided on using a total of 6 leaves. So what I did is in the bottom left corner of the sign, I grabbed 3 leaves and I just hot glued those to that corner. Then at the direct diagonal at the top right part of the sign, I used the same 3 leaves, the style of the leaves, and I hot glued those down again. Now for the words on my sign, I really am loving my gold paint pen, so I grabbed that out again and I decided to write fall in cursive and then just the word vibes. So here's a quick little hand lettering trick for you. When you're writing cursive, to kind of give that thickness to the letter, you always thicken on the downslope. I don't know the technical term for it, guys, sorry, but basically as I'm writing the F, I go up, and then you can see as I'm coming down on the F, I'm thickening that. So anytime your pen, while you're writing cursive, is coming down, that's the part of the letter that you actually want to thicken. So just a little tip there. So I did that, and then that's it. I kept this super simple. So this will be fall, for you can use it for September, and then flip it around and use the other side for October. For this DIY, I grabbed some of these pine cones. These were actually sent to me from one of my subscribers. It was a surprise one day. I opened up my P.O. box and they were in there, and I absolutely love them because they look like roses. And so I thought, you know what? I want to make some kind of fall, I guess, candle holder using these pine cones. So I started first by pulling them all out. I wanted to try to get them grouped by size so I could see if I actually would have enough to make what I was thinking. I also grabbed one of these flat wooden rounds. They came in a pack from Hobby Lobby, and this is just a Bath and Body Works candle. I have tons of these, so I want to make sure that I can have enough of these pine cones to wrap around the candle, but I want to be able to obviously take the candle in and out so that as I burn the candle, I can always put another one in there. So once I figured out, yes, I do have enough of these pine cones, I knew I needed to do something else, and that was to add some leaves. So I had some burlap leaves in my huge stash, and I pulled out all the orange and green ones and just alternated the colors. So it did orange, green, and I hot glued those down so that they overlapped just a little bit. Once the leaves were down, I was ready to start attaching my pine cones. So I just added some hot glue to the pine cone, I glued it down, and as I worked my way around, I kind of just kept twisting it and making sure that that candle was there so that I would be able to take a candle in and out of this little candle, I guess, display piece. And that was the last thing I did, and I absolutely love the fall vibes this gives. We're going to jump seasons briefly. You might remember me mentioning at the beginning of this video, I had a special project. Well, this is it. So many of you know Kelly, or better known as Kelly Barlow Creations on YouTube. Her son Ray passed away this year, and I knew that I wanted to make her something for the Christmas season. So what I've got here is I'm going to be creating a Christmas in Heaven little scene for her to hopefully provide some comfort for her during this holiday season. I started by painting this Dollar Tree sign with some white paint. I had a rocking chair ornament from Hobby Lobby that I painted red, and then I went to my Cricut and I cut out a little decal for the rocking chair, and I wanted it to say Ray so that that seat represented Ray's presence during the holiday season. Once I got that all weeded and put on to the rocking chair, I knew that the little Christmas trees I had needed a little bit of sparkle, so I added some Mod Podge with my finger to the base of the tree and then just dipped that into some of the Dollar Tree snow. Now, of course, I did want to make sure there were some presents in this scene. I wasn't sure how many I needed, so using some of these Dollar Tree presents, I took off the shiny wrapping and the ribbon, grabbed some scrapbook paper, and then proceeded to just wrap those foam inserts like you would a normal present. I did have to kind of crease the scrapbook paper just a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that I had some kind of farmhouse vibe presents to also go with this project. Now for the Christmas in Heaven wording, I wanted it to be kind of a plaque on here. I had this little tag left over from Dollar Tree, so I measured how much space there was, and then I did pop back over to my Cricut. I just typed up the words in Cricut Design Space and let the Cricut pen do a really nice job writing this and making it very pretty. While the Cricut was working and doing that, I wanted to paint the edge of this with some of this very shiny gold paint. It is a great color for Christmas crafts, so definitely check that out if you need some pretty gold paint. But once that was done, I pulled off the CRICUT wording, and then I kind of held it up to the light so I could see where I needed to trim it to get it to fit onto my little plaque. Once I cut it out, I just used a glue stick to get it attached to this little Dollar Tree sign. And then I felt like it needed a little something more, so I grabbed my gold paint pen and I went along all the way around the edge with that pen. And I felt like it needed even more, so I took a piece of scrapbook paper and just kind of loosely traced the shape. I wanted this to kind of just add a pop of color to this and really just kind of draw your attention to this little plaque. So like I said, I just freehanded it, traced it, and then I did use some hot glue to glue that plaque to this scrapbook paper, and then everything got glued down except for the rocker. The rocker I left to be able to be tapped, because I just felt like, I know when I made one for myself, being able to tap that rocker just kind of is therapeutic. So I just wanted that to be able to move. And there you go. This is the little piece that I will be sending to Kelly. I did send her a video of it when I was done making it, and she did send me a response. Now, this I picked up from Hobby Lobby. It was $1.99, 40% off, and I picked up several of them because it's going to have something that can actually have dual purpose when it comes to holiday entertaining. So I started by painting the base of this with some brown wax along with the stem. I made sure to paint on both sides. Then the pumpkin, I painted orange, again painting the orange on both sides of the pumpkin. Next thing I did was grab some moss, and I hot glued a little patch of that to the base on both sides. So I did one side and then flipped it around and glued some more moss on that side as well. I wanted to add something a little extra, so I grabbed, these are actually some of the florals left over from the mystery box, put some hot glue on that and hot glued that down, opted to not use any of the leaves. So the last step is to grab yourself a little mini tag, and here's what you could use this for. Number one, you can use it as a place setting marker, so you could put your guests' names on it. And what I did is I just wrote my name and took some twine, tied it up to the stem, and then added a little twine bow. But you could also do food items. Maybe you have different casseroles out and you want to label them, so you could use them as food labels, drink labels, or even use them as, again, place settings at your fall table. Here's an easy 5-minute craft. Grab one of these mini wood palettes from Dollar Tree and some orange paint. I went in and I wasn't going full coverage, but I got pretty darn close. So I just kind of filled in all the crevices, all the cracks with some orange paint. Once it was painted, I grabbed a tumbling tower block that I had painted brown, but I needed to trim it just a little bit. So I trimmed just barely a little bit off of the end with my miter shears, and then taking some hot glue, I hot glued that down to the top of this. You want to make sure, again, that you make it a little long. It's going to look a little wonky at first, but we're going to add a few things right now. First, I took a little bit of moss and I squirted some hot glue at the top and then just patted that moss down. Then I added another one of these little florals from Christina sent me in the mystery box, and I hot glued down that. And final touch was just to glue on a raffia bow, and then this little wooden pumpkin was complete. That will wrap up today's DIYs. Let me know down below which one of these projects was your favorite. And today's question to get to know you better: are you an early bird or are you a night owl? I would probably say I'm a night owl, although I do like to go to bed at 8 p.m., but I'd much rather stay up late than get up early. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Here are some more videos you might enjoy, and I will talk to you later. Bye.